Hey, I'm Ryan Shumway, and I'm exploring Google Stitch today. So I was on LinkedIn, and I saw, someone else talking about AI again. It seems like LinkedIn is the place where everyone is constantly posting about the latest AI tool, right? I came to Stitch, which is stitch.withgoogle.com. You can see it's designed at the speed of AI, which makes me a little uncomfortable and also kind of curious. Uncomfortable being here's another tool that is promising to destroy designers' careers or maybe speed up designers' careers, however you want to interpret that. So I'm going to try a native mobile app maybe. Let's build come on, it's lagging. Let's build a slow chore and a tool to set frequency about when a chore needs to be is really behind. And the spelling is terrible. Well, this isn't promising. I can't even type in here. I'm trying to jump into the dashboard version to see if I can type better, and it's still really clunky. I'm trying to say, I want a CRUD chore app assigning. Let's see. It is like lagging so hard, and I've closed a lot of my apps, so I don't think it's me. Let's just see what happens here. Okay, so it's thinking. So the promise here is that it can whip out everything from wireframes, high fidelity, builds a design system, all that magic that we think the designers just spend all their time doing, twiddling our thumbs and such. So we're going to see how actually good it is here. Okay, so it started with building a design system, and it's calling it Kindred Hearth. And if you look at it, you can tell right away it feels like a Google app. We've got Google style buttons, the Google icon system, a Google navigation tab component type thing, and then Google looking fonts, which I'm not the big fan of Google related things and Google UI myself. So my natural reaction to this is to like grunt and go, man, I'm going to spend all this time tweaking it so it doesn't look like another Google app. But that aside, it did build a design system supposedly right off the bat, which is cool. And now it's generating some screens. I'm curious what those screens are going to be. It looks like it might be onboarding, parent dashboard, chore management, and child's chore list. It's still loading over here, but I found that I can adjust the design system here on the right. So here, this little color palette thing. You click on that and you can see your Kindred Hearth. You have to click on this little arrow, and then you can see your main color palette and stuff. So maybe this is where you can reassign. Sweet. You can change the fonts and everything. I'm a huge fan of DM Sans right now, and IBM Plex Mono, which is like a really mono font, but it looks really pretty in italics. So I might just change it to that for this. Okay, so I set this prompt earlier, and I just discussed the design system over here. And the 4 screens are still loading, so I'm curious how good this is going to be and how detailed, or if it's going to come with a lot more than just some flat UI. I'm assuming, based off the landing page, that it promised, like code and all the fun things, so we'll see if it's actually any good. Well, after several minutes, you can see that I got just a bug that it said, something unexpected happened, and we couldn't complete your generation. Try again. And that was after waiting like 15 minutes. So not super promising at first, but I'm going to try one more time and we'll see what happens. And there isn't really any clear place to like click try again here. So I'm wondering if I just copy this and paste it in here again. And maybe we can fix some spelling issues now. That's bi-weekly or, Let's try one more time. Just seeing if it works between if you push them to the edges. Okay, let's see if it works this time. I'm going to make sure I'm 3.1 or 3 uses Gemini and produces maximum quality and reasoning over speed. Let's try that one. Wish me luck. Okay, so we got our first result here. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell at you. I'm just more surprised. I've been trying to move this closer, and it won't let me I don't know why it plopped it so far away. I'm trying to just drag it up there. It's annoying that it just yeeted it somewhere on the canvas, but oh well. So Kindred Hearth. I don't know why it's called that, but maybe that's the name of the app it came up with. Good morning, family. You have 18 chores remaining. Okay, that's cool that it's giving me a summary. Weekly momentum. Cool, like a Apple exercise circle thing. Your rooms. And I'm assuming it's going to, be fixed. I said this earlier, but this looks exactly like a Google app, which I don't love. I'm not a huge Google fan in general, but Google, so I'm kind of biased here, but I would, if you don't take the time to design your own design system, it's going to look generic in AI slop, which this is that, where sure it looks like it's following some kind of guide or rules, which it is because it created those, but if you don't take the time to customize it and make it feel like your own app, it's going to look like every other app out there, because every other app that people don't take the time on, they all look the same because they're all built by the same LLMs. So that's what this is. And I think that's where designers really come in, where we can create some aesthetic feel that AI just can't, because it's not a human and it doesn't have thoughts and feelings and understand the cultural, minutia that humans do. So I'm going to take if I were to dive into this and actually build it, I'd come over to the design system and really tinker and change things and choose a different color palette, because I don't want it to look like a Google app. And I'm wondering how big of a pain in the butt it would be to like not even use the Google icons, because I think the Google icons kind of suck. That's my opinion. I'm biased. But yeah, this isn't bad for that. And I've only been able to generate one screen, and it took me like half an hour to get here because the app was struggling for some reason, but that's okay. At least it was able to put out something. So I'm going to try one more time and generate a few more screens, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I just wrote out my prompt here, which is basically I want to see the create portion. So what happens when I click new room? And I'm expecting to be able to name that room, so I'm giving it very specific instructions, like I am expecting to see input fields where you would name the room, and then maybe a button to add chores to that room, and then maybe a drop down of some type with checks to select who would be able to maintain that room, like assigning someone to be it. Like if this were my first child's room, I would assign my first child to maintain that person's room, where my room I would assign myself, etc. Or the kitchen would be just click everybody, and then it would assign everybody. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to attempt to rebuild this design system while it's loading. So I just tried to build a prototype, and it, didn't remember the prompt I did to add a new room. So I'm refilling it out. If I had to summarize this right now, it's painful. It's just not fun to vibe code or vibe design when I know I could do it much faster and better on my own in Figma. So while the promise of these AI tools is aspirational, inspirational, hopefully, maybe, it's not. At least it's not, I'm not getting that experience today. Maybe there's just a lot of demand today and it's not working well, but it's just not really fun to just prompt and just hope it works and just sit around waiting. Like it's taking a really long time to prompt and then just sit here and wait and hope. If I had to commit to this today, it'd be pretty painful to use, but maybe it'll change and get better in the future. But I guess to summarize at the end of all of this is I wouldn't feel the panic that all these people on LinkedIn or YouTube are promising. Like it's not as frictionless as the thumbnails make you believe it is. Like I personally really hate the clickbait of Figma is dead, design is dead, and they use these thumbnails to get you to watch the video, but in reality it's not as bad as they're hyping it out to be. So take this with a boulder of salt that while you can prompt something like this, it's not that good, and it's AI slop unless you have the skill set to make it better than that. So I wouldn't get too nervous about this because it's really not that good. So there you go. That is Stitch in a nutshell. See ya.